Have you ever tried so hard until your very soul felt exhausted, yet the world still whispered coldly in your ear, "You'll never make it"? But what if, just what if, a small, fragile creature dared to rise against those cruel voices? Tonight, let me tell you a story. The story of a little sparrow and her journey to touch the sky, powered by nothing but courage. Deep within a faraway forest, where sunlight barely touched the ground through the thick canopy above, a tiny sparrow lived quietly in her old, weathered nest. Every day she looked up at the sky, watching the other birds soar freely above the treetops. They danced with the wind, spun in circles, dived, and rose again, with pride shining across their wings. And she just sat there, her eyes shimmering with longing. She wished, just once, to feel the sky brush against her wings. Each morning, as the first rays of sunlight slipped through the leaves, she whispered softly to herself, maybe today I'll do it. Maybe today I'll fly. Then she spread her tiny wings, took a deep breath, and leapt from the branch. But the moment she did, fear struck. Her heart tightened, her wings trembled, and within seconds she fell straight to the ground. From above came laughter, sharp, cruel, and cold. "Look at you! You'll never fly. You're too weak, too scared. Why even try?" Their voices echoed through the forest, piercing her heart like arrows of shame. The little sparrow lowered her head, her chest quivering, her eyes glistening in the fading sunset. She wanted to fight back, to say something, but her throat closed, and no words came out. The laughter grew louder, drowning out the rustling leaves, drowning out even her heartbeat, until finally she folded her wings, curled up small, and wished that the noise, the pain, and the world itself would just fade away. Night fell. The forest lay silent beneath the vast silver sky. The little sparrow perched alone on a quiet branch, surrounded by a sea of stars. Tears shimmered on her tiny cheeks, reflecting the soft, gentle glow of the moon above. She whispered softly, as if speaking to the heavens, "Maybe I'm small, maybe I'm fragile, but my dreams, they are stronger than my fears." When dawn came, she opened her eyes with a new kind of determination. No more tears, no more hiding. She told herself, "Today, I'll try again. Even if I fall, I won't give up." Her wings still trembled, but in her eyes a spark had been lit. The spark of belief. She spread her wings, leapt into the air, and once again she fell. From above came the laughter, sharp, cruel, familiar. But this time she didn't bow her head. she sat beneath an ancient tree, looking toward the endless sky, and whispered with quiet strength, "I will not stop." That night, as the forest bathed in pale moonlight, a wise old owl descended beside her. Its wings brushed softly against the earth, the air trembling gently through the leaves. Its eyes glowed in the dark, deep and calm, as though they had seen into the hearts of many lost souls. In a slow, steady voice, it said, "Falling doesn't mean you've failed, little one. Flight doesn't come from wings. It comes from courage. And you, my dear, already have that courage within you." The owl's words sank deep into her heart, like a small flame flickering to life in the darkness. For the first time, amid the tears still clinging to her cheeks, the little sparrow smiled. It was a trembling smile, but a real one, because in that moment, she believed. "Tomorrow," she whispered, "I'll try again, because I still believe in myself." Morning arrived quietly. There was no applause, no audience, no one to cheer her on. Only the little sparrow and a dream that refused to die. The sky stretched wide and clear above her, sunlight spilling softly across her fragile wings. She took a deep breath, looked up at the open sky, and leapt once more. This time, she didn't fall right away. For a few fleeting seconds, she was truly in the air, her wings trembling, yet steady. The wind brushed against her body, and her heart pounded fiercely within her tiny chest. When she finally landed, her breath came quick and shallow, but her face shone with the brightest smile. "I flew, even if only for a moment. I truly flew." Time passed. Storms swept through the forest again and again. The wind roared, the rain poured down, the sky grew dark and wild. The other birds hid inside their nests, folding their wings tightly in fear. But the little sparrow did not. She lifted her head and looked straight into the storm. Then, taking a deep breath, she spread her wings and leapt into the howling wind. The storm fought back with fury. Branches tore at her feathers. The freezing rain burned against her fragile body. But every time she fell, she rose again, trembling, torn, but stronger than before. And then one day, when the skies finally cleared, the little sparrow took flight once more. This time, she soared higher than ever before, so high that her wingtips brushed against the shimmering clouds. Sunlight broke through, scattering gold across her feathers. Below, the same birds who once mocked her now watched in stunned silence. Their laughter had vanished, replaced by awe and quiet respect. And in her heart, the wise owl's voice echoed once more. You believed in yourself, and that is why you can fly today. Years later, on a quiet branch, a young sparrow stood trembling, her wings pressed tightly to her sides, too afraid to leap into the open air. The little sparrow from long ago, now strong, confident, and free, landed gently beside her. With a warm smile and kind eyes, she whispered, "Everyone feels fear, but only those who believe in themselves ever touch the sky. Life is just the same. No one goes through it without falling. No one grows without pain. But every fall is not an ending. It's the beginning of becoming stronger. What matters is not that you never fall, but that you rise every single time you do. People will doubt you. They'll laugh. They'll tell you that you're not good enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough. But their voices don't define who you are. Your belief does. Dreams don't need wings. They only need courage, faith, and a heart that never gives up. The little sparrow once mocked, once fallen, once trembling, now soared higher than them all. That is the power of belief, the strength that lifts even the weakest wings to touch the clouds. As dawn painted the forest in gold, the little sparrow spread her wings wide and flew across the open sky. No more fear, no more laughter echoing from above. Only the soft whisper of the wind through her feathers, the song of freedom. No one is born knowing how to fly. We learn to fly through every fall, through every doubt, and through the faith that refuses to fade inside our hearts. Each time you rise, you become stronger, wiser, and a little closer to your own sky. Amid the noise of the world, let the story of the little sparrow remind you of this truth. You don't need wings to fly. You only need to believe. Believe, even when the whole world turns its back on you. Believe, even after you've fallen 1,000 times. And believe that one day you'll look up and see yourself soaring across the sky, smiling in the light you created. If this story touched your heart, leave a comment below and tell us, what helps you rise again when life knocks you down? Like, share and subscribe to DOLA Tale so that every day your heart can rise a little higher. Because the sky doesn't belong to the strongest. It belongs to those who never stop believing.